Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everyone?
Good.
I'm doing outstanding. Go ahead.
HD, you planning to have a long snapper at practice today?
I am planning to have long snapper practice today. Yeah, Scott Daly will be the guy. Um, we like him a lot. Played against him a ton. Veteran. Snaps a really good ball. Really, in our personal opinion, is one of 32 in the league, and now it's all about Cairo and Tori developing that relationship and that bond together because that's a critical piece of our team because it deals with points and points is how you win games. So those three will develop that relationship and and try to put points on the board for the team.
What is the challenge of accelerating that chemistry process in a way that it gets up to speed before September 8th?
Yeah, I mean, it's just something we're gonna have to work on. It is extremely challenging. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. A lot of people think that you just snap, hold, kick, and the ball goes through the uprights, but there's a lot of different things that play into that. The laces, the lean on the ball, the wind, how you tilt the ball can change the direction and the flight pattern of the ball. How you snap the ball can change that. How you hold the ball can change that. The steps on the kicker's operation can change that. So it's just something that we're gonna have to work through, and we feel great about it. We feel great about the fact that we were able to get Scott, and they're gonna work good together. We're excited about it. Um, Go ahead.
Patrick has been such a mainstay for that unit. How big of a loss is this then?
Yeah, no question. I mean, Patrick Scales is an outstanding human being, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say, his kids played 99 games. He's outstanding. He's the glue in that room, honestly. So he'll be missed, but this is pro football, and Pat wants us to go forward. And that was the last conversation I had with Pat. Pat wants nothing but for the unit to look good because he cares so much about the team, and that's what kind of teammate he is. Like um, he wants to score points and he wants to win, and I want to win. So Pat understands that everyone's still in full support of him as well.
I wanted to ask you about Travis Homework. How did he get to the point where he could be such a versatile piece for you?
Yeah, I mean, Travis has worked throughout his career. Just short story on Travis was my favorite running back coming out the year he came out, and he was the number one player overall on my board for special teams. When I was scouting college guys, and it just so happens he went to the division that I was in at the time. But Travis is dependable. He sits in the front of the room. He's sharp. He always asks questions, and then he's a really good teammate because he always talks to the other guys because he's the commander and basically like one of the captains of kind of like the special team. He basically the quarterback of the punt team because he's the personal protector. So he's big, he's fast, he's physical, and he's quick, and he's super smart, and he's a really um, we're really fortunate to have Travis, and we're gonna depend on him a lot.
He's a guy who was a really good offensive player in college and then kind of carved this career for himself on special teams. What can other guys learn from that? From the ability to kind of lean into special teams as a way to have an NFL career?
Yeah, I mean, I think Travis he did that in college as well, and he had really good college tape. But then he just took it serious, like anything he does, and that's what Ryan and Coach Flus have done a good job of acquiring talent, bringing guys in that love football, that really want to be a part of this team and really love the process. It's one thing to play on game day, but it's a whole nother thing to love meeting, to love watching tape, to love asking questions, to love studying opponents' tendencies, seeing how a player looks and what he does when a certain foot's up or when he leaning a certain way. Like all of those things, if you fall in love with the process, that's what we want, and that's what Travis has done. Fell in love with the process of being an NFL player and wanting to be dominant at his craft.
Patrick, do you expect him back at some point?
Yeah, I think Coach addressed that. Like he's gonna work to try to get back. But I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer for that. Like I don't have a crystal ball on that one.
Richard, we know what a supporter you've been of Velus Jones throughout his career, but obviously to make the roster, he needed to win over head coach, OC, receivers coach, running backs coach. What kind of pride do you take in seeing a young guy like that fight for his roster spot, knowing that he's in a tough spot and earned his place on the 53?
Yeah, I think Valus had a really good camp. Like I'm a supporter of not only Valus, I'm a supporter of every guy that walks through this door because I get a chance to. I had the honor and pleasure and a chance to coach almost all of them. So I take it as my charge to try to develop them and help them be better. And if not, have the shield somewhere, have it here, have it somewhere else because I care so much about the players. But to speak to Valus, he did. He just had an outstanding camp. I mean, we always knew that he could play on teams, but he showed that he could play on offense and showed that he had versatility, and that's where his value came because he had a really good camp. So I was excited to. I'm excited to see him or any other of our players uh, make plays because I just want them to. I want them all to succeed.
Richard, back to the long snapper topic for a minute. How much was your patience tested in August, knowing how you were gonna probably have to wait for dominoes to fall elsewhere in the league to try to find the backup plan for Patrick and to go into the regular season with a guy you feel comfortable with?
Yeah, you just got to be patient. I mean, fortunate, fortunately and unfortunately, it's not my first time that I've had to have different snappers. You know, I think in one year when we were really good and ended up playing in the last game of the year into the Super Bowl, I think I had three that year, and we didn't skip a beat because you can't skip a beat. So obviously, you know, I don't have time to sit and I have to have patience, like you said, but I don't. It's unfair for the team if I sit and worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna study, um, and with the other special teams coaches, we're gonna put our heads together and we're gonna find a plan because that's our role and that's our responsibility to this team to make sure that when we go out there we put points on the board.
Did the severity of Scales' injury kind of sneak up on you? Do you wish you had had a backup long snapper in camp who you liked earlier?
Yeah, well, we had a backup. We had Cam here, and Cam worked his tail off. Cam was here the whole time, and then maybe for a short moment he left, and then we brought him back. So Scales is a phenomenal person and player, and we were expecting him to be the guy, but unfortunately that wasn't God's plan at the time right now. So we had Cam in here, and Cam had his opportunity, and I think Cam will snap in this league. But I really appreciate everything Cam did. So to answer your question, Mark, we had a backup plan. It just didn't go. It didn't. He didn't. He didn't keep the job. But I still think he'll snap in this league. So I think our personnel department did a phenomenal job having a plan there.
Richard, you've been here during this whole roster rebuild that Poles has done and different coaches around you. How does it feel different to you at this point? Does it feel different to you? Everybody's talked about the vibe is different. Does it feel different to you?
Yeah, it's totally different. It's year one. We were just, trying to put together a team and put together a team that could go out there and be competitive. And they've done a great job of following their blueprint, and their process is phenomenal. I think Ryan Poles, Ian Cunningham, Trey Kozel, all of the guys. I can go down the list. Francis Breck, Jeff King is phenomenal. Like those dudes and all the scouting interns that they have that work that help me with special teams. It's just everybody's pulling in the same direction, and that starts at the top with Flus, Ryan, Kevin Warren. We got a special thing going here. It seems special. I mean, obviously we're not gonna make any predictions, but I love coming to work every day, and I know people that are in this building right now are fortunate to be in this building because we got something brewing.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.